Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I am the Community Manager of Franchise Hockey. Not with me is the vacationing FHM producer, Jeff. So it's just me streaming. If you missed our last couple of streams, some crazy things have happened. And by crazy, I mean we basically, in one off season, we didn't get fired, number one. Number two, we have wildly rebuilt the Minnesota Wild, all puns intended. We are now sitting at the precipice of the 2020 NHL season. I simmed us up through the summer. If you missed our previous stream, we did the NHL Draft, which we'll take a quick look at. We did free agency, which we'll recap. And then I made one other move in the offseason just to try and create a little more room for us. So going to look at the entry draft, we actually drafted first overall, and with that we got Alex Lafreniere, which gives us a 2.5-star talent guy basically to put immediately into our lineup. So that was well done by us. If we just scroll down here to find Minnesota. There we are. So we took Lafreniere with the first pick. The start of the second round, we took Dawson Mercer, a 3.5-star potential guy playing in the Q. Had 37 points in 37 games, so there's some hope there. Later in the second, we took Rhett Reinhardt to beef up our defense. Then we grabbed, in the third round, Ruben Rafikin, also playing in the O. So we got some guys playing in the Canadian League. We didn't have a fourth-round pick. In the fifth round, we grabbed Jack Finley, who's a 2.5-star potential center, playing with Spokane in the Dub. Then we grabbed Ridley Grieg, I believe that's how you say his name. 1-star talent, 2.5-star potential. Some guys who could, beef up our bottom lines, but might push into a top job. These guys are all kind of 18 years old, so. Then in the sixth round, we went down to the UCHL and grabbed Wyatt Shingoth, I believe is how you say that name, but I could be wrong. He had 32 points in 50 games playing with the USHL. Not sure what team that is. Waterloo Blackhawks. It's over here. Then later in the sixth round, we grabbed the very interesting Travis Treelor, who is a Swedish-Canadian Norwegian. Half-star talent, 3.5 potential. Might be something there. We'll find out. Gonna give him a chance to kind of grow and see what happens. And then right at the end of in the seventh round, we grabbed Lukas Rubin, a former guy we actually took in a previous stream series, who turned out okay. He put up some decent numbers over in the Swiss under 20 league. He had, 27 points in 35 games. Will he become anything of interest? I don't know, but it's worth us finding out. Hi, Gudu. Thanks for coming out. If, again, you missed our stream where we did the draft, now you're kind of caught up. We tried to make some more moves. Nothing really panned out. But the big thing we got rid of at the draft, in fact, actually, was we got rid of Ryan Suter's contract. Now, we haven't moved Parise. He's still sitting on the trade block, but that allowed us to make some moves. And if we look at our depth chart here now, you can see, number one, we picked up 2 new defensemen. We grabbed Roman Josi because we started this game before he signed his new big contract, and Tyson Barrie from UFA. We also grabbed a new number 1 goaltender with Braden Holtby. So Holtby and Dubnyk are going to split the crease. Dubnyk's on the last year of his deal. He might be gone at some point this year if we get the right trade offer. Kaapo Käkkonen's going to stay down in the AHL if we don't lose him on waivers. But we also signed Tyler Parsons, who's 1.5-star talent, 4-star potential, to kind of give us a little bit of a break and see if he can kind of push Kaapo Käkkonen and see what's going on. He comes over from Stockton. Of course, we had Hunter Jones, who's pushing up, 1-star talent, 3.5, who's probably the goalie of our future, as Derek Barbeau is probably not going to do us much good, but you never know. He could do something. Hey, Gudu. Hey, P-Wog. Other additions The big one here is Chris Kreider we added as well, and we did manage to convince Kirill Kaprizov to come over and sign with us. So those were two of our big signings. So Kreider, the good thing about Kreider too was most of these guys signed 3-year deals, so that gave us a decent amount of flexibility. Just taking a look here. Yeah, we signed a bunch of our draft picks. Right now, actually, if we take a quick look at our contracts, you can see down here at the bottom, we currently are at 45 of 50. And I wanted to get us kind of back to that because we're probably going to be looking to pick up another defenseman or on when everybody kind of goes and try and sneak another defenseman up, or maybe actually to look at forward. I did say I made, if you were reading our Twitter, which is at Franchise Hockey, I did make one trade while I was simming up here, and that trade we made was at the beginning of September, and we got a fourth round and a 6th round pick from Edmonton for Greg Pattern, who was a decent defenseman, but not really doing too much, and the rights to Kamenev, who we grabbed off waivers, but didn't re-sign. He's actually over in the KHL, so we gave up 2 guys we didn't really want, dumping a contract to pick up another 4th and a 6th rounder, which honestly, that's kind of what we needed. So again, if we go back to our depth chart here, you can see we have some guys coming. There's some excitement around. We brought some guys out of college, and we're going to have to make some changes coming here now to see how this is going to go. If you notice that the screen's popping a little bit, especially when I'm scrolling, my mouse has decided that it should no longer just hit one button at a time. So if I accidentally go to a different page, it's not on purpose. It's my mouse. The new one's on its way, but it's not here yet, unfortunately. And it seems to be working most of the time. Now, because we're in 2020, unlike the real NHL, in the game, there's still the World Cup. So we have several players away. You can see Kaprizov's gone, Kreider's gone, Dumba's gone, Holtby's gone, and Yossi's gone. So we have a game coming up here, so we're going to need to call a few guys up, starting with a goaltender. Actually, so we'll call up... well, let's call Capo Kakinen anyways. And we can dress Kakinen. So we need 6 defensemen. I really don't care too much about the 6 defensemen. We're going to put Noel Juleson in. So 3, 4, 5, 6 defensemen in. Awesome. Forwards. We need 3 extra guys dressed. So let's put back in Lodina. You can see Jack McBain came to us from Boston College. He's probably going to be in the AHL because he's only 1 star. Damien Giroux, again, 1 star, probably going to end up down in the AHL. Beckman will put in for now. I'll put Giroux in and Boldy in. Boldy also came from BC, so we kind of stole some talent there. 20 players dressed. Okay. We're going to be fairly close to the cap too with our new contracts because, like we said here, you can see we signed Holtby for 3 years at 6.6-ish. Yossi came to us at 8.6, and Tyson Berry is at 5.7. Where does your team rank against the rest of the league? Good question, Gudu. If we look at our power rankings, we're only available during the regular season. Darn. So I guess we'll have to wait to find out. You can see, though, we do have the number 1 ranked top prospect, so there's a little bit of hope there. And we'll see kind of what happens. So as our team, we have some messages here, too, we can kind of go through. Starting with our training camp development report, which I kind of skipped through. Braden Holtby actually lost a little bit, which is disappointing. Jack McBain went up. Giroux went up. Elias Anderson went up, which is great. Kovanov up a little bit. A guy who bounced between the Q. He had 38 points and then played in the Atlanta Junior B, which would have just been him getting sent down, probably because they didn't have enough international room. So not too worried about that. Kunin went up. Giroux went up. Boudreau. Nielsen actually dropped off his potential, which is sad. He's down to 2 stars, so I don't think he was at that. Lodina gets a big bump in improvement, but ways to go. Kaprizov goes up. Greenway, Dawson, Mercer. He's really close to playing, like 1.5 stars. He's right there. Beckman doesn't get up past 1, but that's okay. Matthew Boldy, very close. Lafreniere keeps going up. Dumba keeps going up. We have to set our captain, so we don't want to forget to do that. But we have 2 problems. Anderson is out of shape and Donato's out of shape. Not good. So we're going to, we're going to criticize them publicly. Because how dare you come to camp out of shape? And so we get to 2 of our centers come out of shape. That's no good. Noel Gilson wants number 3. I called him up because I knew we were probably going to need a defenseman. Plus, I wanted to see what he was going to do, during the preseason for us. So we need captains. We have a captain, I believe. Just trying to see here. Or no, no, we don't. We only have 1 assistant, Preze, because our captain, Mikko Koivu, we were going to let him walk, but he retired anyways. And then we only have Preze left, and he's an assistant, but he might end up getting moved. So to check that, we want to go to the drop-down box here, and we're going to scroll all the way down to mental ratings. And then we're going to sort by leadership. That's not... We got lots of guys that... nobody's really standing out, though. Team player... Okay, all right, interesting. Termination. Anderson's kind of up there too, so I'm not thinking we should give Elias Anderson probably the captaincy, but Marcus Foligno won't be that bad of a captain, but he's only 2 stars, which is sad. Are we missing some guys? Is that why? I feel like... Okay, that makes more sense. I wasn't scrolled up to the top. There we go. Roman Josi is going to be our new captain. The team has been built around him. Josi's the captain. I thought that was kind of weird. And Kreider, couldn't see Kreider either, so that makes more sense. Let's actually put Kreider as an assistant as well. I guess we'll leave Parise for the moment because we really don't know how anybody else is doing. But that kind of gives us our captaincy back. And one last thing to do, of course, is we need kind of our lines. I'm just going to have assistant create and see what they come up with. Interesting mix. I was wondering if we should change our tactics. Any thoughts in the chat? Currently playing the flexible reaction. We have some depth at center now, and we have some better wingers. Oh, right. I was like, wait, where is he not there? So I'm wondering if through center actually makes sense, because that kind of pushes us gets Lafreniere a little bit more of the puck. And instead of zone, we're going to switch to a funnel style and see if we can change and try and get a little bit more through. Offensive zone, I think Cycle's still probably our best bet. Just because we have some guys who can shoot the puck now. So I think that's a good choice. And playing the trap is probably a good idea. Collapse the net. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that overall. With that being said, I'm going to ask our assistant to set roles. Maybe not. I might have to. Actually, that's better. And we'll kind of just let it see how it goes for the first little bit. So Bullet asks, Bullet 1291 says, are you going to try and compete this year? Yes. If we look at our job security here, we got up to plus 48, which is really good considering we were at in the 20s. New season, and then because we signed Hopi and Roman Yossi, we got another plus 10 bump. So I'm hoping we can compete. Gudu says, what's your thought behind having loads of young centers? It's not so much that we drafted centers. It was just a fact that happened. For the most part, centers have a little bit more flexibility to go to the wings versus a winger can't really go to the center as easily because the centers typically will have a higher face-off talent, so it's good to give them a little bit of flexibility. But the guys who we did draft, like even Lafreniere can play left wing, so if you look at his stats, I mean, he's 20 and 19 on the left wing. And so we tried to bring in some guys. Kreider, can play both sides. The guys we do have, hopefully, just kind of keep pushing, and we have some tough, choices to make. Like Beckman is good, but he's still 1 star, and I don't want to hurt his development. And actually, him showing up as 5 is fantastic. But yeah, we don't want to crush like what he could become. So we're just kind of going to see how it goes. I'm not going to mess with the ice times during the preseason because, frankly, it doesn't matter a huge amount, especially when our top guys are still away at the World Cup. Okay, we give up 44 shots, but we get 33, so that's not a bad first game. And you can see right there, my scrolling's not working great. Lafreniere scores in the third period, though, so that's a good news for us. And I just have to try and remember to grab the side. Again, I should have a new mouse here by hopefully the end of the week or next week. Jeff is not here, by the way, CSI. Thanks for coming out. He'll be back for next week's stream. Although I might do a special stream later this week. We'll kind of see what's going on. Bullet, we saw the transaction screen before. Is there something particular you want to see? And again, if you missed our draft and free agency special, it's up on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments. I really wish you could have drafted someone's name you could pronounce. Bullet says, ouch, that hurts. Okay, fine. We can go back to the transaction screen for a minute here. So you can see, I said we made one trade just at the start of September to dump a contract. We did sign some guys like Hunter Jones. We signed to a contract, sent him back down already because he's only 1 star. We signed Jack McBain. We signed Matthew Boldy. Signed a lot of our picks. giving them contracts. Some guys are going to get loaned back. Our big stuff was Yossi, Barry, Kreider, Holtby. Tyler Parsons just gives us that little bit more flexibility. So here's hoping that kind of stays. Gudu, you're right, but they'll probably grow a little bit better. So reminder, the salary cap is going to be 81.5, which is good for us because we're probably going to push fairly close to that. And it's been kind of wild in the NHL as more coaches get fired, since it seems every week we stream there's a new coach getting fired. Actually, I saw, I don't remember who had the tweet, but somebody had it saying, and I got a laugh out of it, since the Detroit Red Wings, sorry, P-Wog, last won a game, 5 coaches have been fired. And so that one kind of cracked me up a little bit. Great question in the chat from Bullet. He says, who do you have coming up for contracts this year? If we look at our upcoming free agents, Dubnyk is done. He'll be gone. Sealer's all sad because he's in the minors, but you know what? That's too bad. He'll be gone. Jonas Brodin's probably going to be gone, 27 years old. He's making 4.16. I don't want to know what he's going to want for our next contract. Susie, gone. Hunt, gone. He's 32, 2 stars. We're not going to have room to pay him what he wants anyways. Zach Hyman, who's here right now playing well, he'll be gone. Honestly, if he makes it to trade deadline, that would be amazing. Luke Johnson, gone. Donato, well, yeah, but coming to camp unfit's not a great move to endear you to me. Joel Eriksson Ek, probably he'll at least get offered. Mason Shaw, that guy needs to step it up, so we'll see what happens. Will Bitton, again, probably going to resign him. Marcus Foligno's going to be gone. 25 points last year in 82 games. Sure, he's staying healthy, but he's only 2 stars. He's going to be gone. Sokolov probably will stick around, 2-star talent. And Brandon Duhaime, I don't know, probably going to be gone, let's be honest. Those 1.5-star potential, not exactly lighting it up. Gudu asks, where's Babcock? Has he got a new job yet? I don't think Babcock's actually been fired in this game yet. We'll just take a quick peek for you, though. Go down to Toronto here. Yeah, he's still the head coach in Toronto. But he might be skating on some more thin ice here. Nope, apparently not. They're pretty happy, all things. Toronto did do fairly well. They lost to, I believe, the eventual Eastern Conference champions, who then, of course, lost to the Jets. So we have back-to-back games here. So we're going to throw Kakinen in for the first game. Submit out, and we actually pick up a win. All right. 4-3. We got 44 shots against, so that's an improvement. And we'll take what we can get there. Just going back to something Gudu says, just a thought, they won't have the majority. Just thought that won't have the majority have low face-off ratings for now. Yeah, but lots of the guys, young guys, I'm not planning on playing. I mean, some, yes, but if they're not ready, if they're not at least 2 stars, I really don't want them in the NHL. And again, lots of times we get this question from people who watch our Twitch streams, which are Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern. We get this question from people on our YouTube channel. People come to the forums. People come into our Discord, and they say, how do you make a decision on who belongs where? And the cutoff line for the most part, should be 2 stars. If a player is 2 stars or above, they are a current NHL player that can constantly play in your top 12 or top 6, and that's great. And don't think of 2 stars. We use the full star rating system, and just to go here so we can look at the team, we use all 5 stars. So from half a star to 5 stars, we use every little bit of it. But the way you need to think of it as anybody really 3.5 stars or better. So if we sort by that, so we can see Yossi, Hope B. Those are kind of those beginning of superstars to amazing superstars like Sidney Crosby, who's probably 5 stars. Drawing a complete blank. Connor McDavid, 5-star guy. Whereas somebody like, and just using Chris Kreider, excellent hockey player, really good hockey player. He's that 3-star guy. He's that way better than average, but he's not, and I hesitate to say it, but he's not elite, if that makes sense. He's really, really good, but he's not on that next level. And that's where those 3-star guys are. And don't mistake that for being, he's not good, because I don't mean that. I just mean he's not on that crazy game-changing way that, say, a Crosby or a McDavid is. And we can see Lafreniere has that chance to become that with that 5-star. 2.5-star guys are guys who can play now. They're going to show flashes of brilliance, but they're going to have the odd down, not as good games. I don't want to say bad games. Your 2-star talent guys, which you can see, are your guys who are in the league. They're playing well. Typically, a 2-star guy is going to be likely, a bottom 6 forward, or kind of the bottom 3 defensemen. But if you got one guy pushing up into those tops, that's not a bad thing, because those 2-star guys, there's those steady talent. There's those guys who just constantly are around and do their job and do it well. And then you have the 1.5-star guys. And keep in mind, I'm talking about ability, not potential. Potential is good to know. It can help you decide where you want a guy to be or whether he's worth signing. But ability is what we care about right now. And then we have the 1.5-star guys. And those are our fringe guys, those guys who can probably play if you really need to or don't have anybody else. Which, I mean, if we look, Ivan Lodina played 18 games on us, put up 6 points. Good player. Is he going to really excel? Probably not. He'd be better off if we could keep him in the minors, but he's probably going to be there. He's that kind of 13th forward, 7th defenseman. But if he's playing full time, it's good, but not as good as, say, somebody who's 2 stars. The 1-star guys are guys who are just, again, just a little bit over their head. And it's not that they're bad. It's just a guy who gets called up, maybe plays a game, might have a good game, might have a great game, might really have a potential to be something, but he's just not quite ready yet. So those 1-star guys, we don't want to rush them. They'll be much better in the AHL. And the half-star guys, we shouldn't even be talking about at the NHL level. Another thing that's important to remember as well with ability and potential, it's all about what league you're currently in for understanding the ability and potential. If I'm in the AHL, a guy could be a 4-star guy. But just because he's 4-star in the AHL, if I'm GMing in the AHL, doesn't mean he's going to be a 4-star player in the NHL. Same goes from the WHL to the NHL or OHL to the NHL. And this is important too, especially when we're talking of looking at in, say, Sweden or Finland or Germany or France. You're going to see the potential of guys, or potential and ability of like players from that league, which means for the most part, if you looked at NHL, all the NHL players from that league perspective, you're probably going to see lots of guys who are much more at that 5-star level, possibly even because they could become superstars over there. That's not to say that just because they're over there that the competition's not quite the same. There's a lot of other factors too, like that the Europeans playing on much larger ice makes a big difference for how some players actually go about and have good games. One of my favorite Winnipeg Jets of all time, Jim Slater, kind of a 4th-line guy here, which was a great role for him. But at the end of his career, he played a few years over in Switzerland and put up pretty good numbers, which is great for him. Okay, so game again here. Devin Dubnyk, 51 shots against, 50 saves, though, 2-1 win. But we got 41 shots and 40 saves. So I'm feeling pretty good about our offensive system all of a sudden. It's going to be curious to see how, when the really good guys come back in, and see how that goes. But I hope my little bit of a rant on players' current ability and potential is how you should view them for what you need. And again, there's been some differences for some leagues, because sometimes you need to have players who maybe can't quite match that. And so it is much more NHL focused. But that doesn't mean that it can't work. And again, historical has been different because the ratings weren't changed when we redid all the current players ones. But as Jeff mentioned the last time he was on, which was 2 streams ago, he's been slowly going through and re-rating all the historical players. And so that takes some time to get there. Okay, I forgot to look at this. I kind of want to, oh yeah. Team North America, I forgot to look. What does this team look like? Carter Hart's in net, obviously. Spencer Knight. And Tyler Parsons. Okay, I didn't know Tyler Parsons was there. Sweet. Good for him. Shabbat, Wrzinski, Hanifin, Quinn Hughes, Girard, Chikrin, Byram, McAvoy, Kachuk, DeBrincat, Keller, Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, Dubois, Barzell, Patrick, White, Marner, Besser, Konecki. That's a pretty solid lineup for Team North America. And so we play back-to-back games in New York. Just checking. Anderson's down to 75. Lafreniere down to 79. Ooh, let's maybe make a couple of changes here. Anderson will replace him and put Kovanov in. Donato gonna replace him and put Giroux in. This mouse, I tell you. Kunin. Okay, Kaprizov can come in, so let's take Kunin out and put Kaprizov in. If I can find his name. There it is. All right, let's play this game. We'll leave Dubnyk in for the first half of the back-to-back, and he wins 5-3, so we're continuing to put up good numbers. Great. Like seeing it. Bullet says in the chat, doing a Kings rebuild, and oh my goodness, they're in a horrible spot. The Kings are old with a lot of bad contracts, and they're in tough. Even guys who have good contracts for them are still bad. For instance, I really appreciate Kopitar, but that contract is just not good for that team. It'll be interesting. Here's the more interesting thing. By the time, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll probably already know the answer, but in the next 4 days from the stream time, which is December 11th, I believe it's December 15th. Oh man, I'm drawing a complete blank. Former Atlanta Thrasher who's playing on that team. Kovalchuk. There we go. Finally came to me. Okay, so we put 30 up shots against. We just didn't get goals, and that's okay. His bonus is due, and there's some speculation they'll try and buy him out or come to an agreement. Yeah, Guda just asked the same thing. What are you going to do with Kovalchuk? A buyout's the only reasonable thing. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, but I don't understand why people were so thrilled at the prospect and willing to sign him to such a big deal. And I get Kovalchuk was a good player, but that was a long time ago. And even like he put up some decent numbers in the KHL, yes. But at the same time, his team benched him like 2 years beforehand because he was too slow and not doing the work. So it's kind of one of those things where you're like, why would you do that? Bullet says he's done absolutely nothing for Kovalchuk in his game. I mean, you could try and not play him and see if you could force him into a buyout. It's not Greenway's down to 72%. Erickson X down to 61. So let's make a few changes here. Greenway, who's coming in? McBain is coming in for Greenway. Foligno's coming out, and we're going to put Lodina in. Erickson X coming out, and Dawson Mercer's going in for him. If I can find his name here. Mercer, right at the bottom. All right. Hunt's down to 61%. That's no good. So let's take Hunt out and give our new captain a game with us, Roman Yossi. And game versus Buffalo then. We're going to leave Lafreniere because I want him to get used to the grind. Even though he's at 67%. I would normally pull him, but we'll see how it goes. And we lose. Oh, boy. We only got 17 shots on net. That's not good. Uh, 57 points by him if he's playing bottom six is pretty good. Although I'm going to guess he's probably sneaking in some power play time if he's got that many points. And all right. All right. He's out. And Boudreaux's coming in for Lafreniere. Excellent. Oh, wait. Kovanov's down to 66%. Missed that. Okay, Luke Kunin's coming in for Kovanov. Again, I don't care too much about where these guys are playing. Kunin's in the middle. All right, let's see what happens. And we get destroyed again. Ouch. Apparently, Lafreniere is very important to us. Really important. Well, and I didn't say it was all power play points. I just said it was probably had some power play points. You would have to give me some, I would think. Only 8 on the power play. Well, that's not bad, I guess. I would have assumed it might have been a little bit higher. And Canada defeats the United States for the World Cup. Huzzah. And all right, so we're nearing the start of the regular season. We have some players who need to clear waivers. All right, taking a quick look at our schedule here. So we start the regular season on the 3rd. So basically, we need to set up our team right now. We'll advance one day. And everyone should be back then. All right. Oh, they're still not back? Really? Okay, so we're going to have to kind of do this by guesswork. So we're going to send Kapanen down. Okay, so our goaltenders include Yossi, Brodin. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, assuming Brad Hunt probably stays as an extra guy. Juleson, you're out. He's getting sent down. We just don't have room. Actually, I'd rather him keep playing down there and we'll keep Nielsen up for now. His 3-year contract's not looking great, though. Kreider. Okay, let's just take... Okay, so Boldy might actually make this team. Preseason on it. So, okay. So we need to fill 18 spots. Nope, that's not true. 17 spots. So let's just look at current ability, and let's go down to the 1-star guys. Okay, Giroux, I like him, but he's going to go down to Iowa and actually play. Bourgeois, he's going to go down to Iowa and actually play. McBain is going to go down to Iowa and actually play. Beckman, 19 years old. We have to loan him. Oh, it's so tough. But yeah, he's going to go down and he's going to dominate in Spokane. So that gets rid of all of our 1-star guys, which is what we needed. Okay, so now we have 3 more guys we have to cut. Mercer is really good, and I'm very tempted to keep him. Kovanov, we're going to send down. Waiver eligible, he can go down. Boldy, 23 points in 34 games, likely going to get called up. If we get an injury, Boldy's going to go down. That leaves us with 1 guy to cut. Maybe we send Ivan Ludina down and let him just kind of relax. That gives us 23 guys. I like that. I think that makes sense. So just taking a quick look at waivers because, well, you know, it's never a bad thing. Vitek Vanek is the most highest potential guy. Taro Hirose, interesting. Laurent Brossois gets sent down. Playing with Utica, so he signed with Vancouver, interesting. Only 3-star talent guys coming back. That's curious. Highest guys were scouted to B. Current ability. Nobody beats Brossois. Actually, this is kind of a disappointing of players who are getting sent down. I mean, it's good, but it's just disappointing for us. Gudu, I will, but I got to wait till it's the regular season. It's not the regular season yet. I haven't forgotten. You got to give me a chance. Looks like we're going to kind of get stuck with the guys we got, and we'll have to keep an eye and see if there's anyone jumps out of interest. If I needed a goalie, I think I'd be all over Brossois. Even though he only had 885 save percentage with Winnipeg last year. He helped them win a Stanley Cup. And I was at the Jets game last night versus the Wings. And he played well. The guy has had some just terrible luck as of late for just weird things happening, but I still like him. And by weird things, I mean if you weren't watching the game, which I'm guessing probably many weren't, his strap holding his pad to his skate broke, and then the Jets they tried to fix it, and then he started skating and then tripped over when the piece came off, and it wasn't very pretty. What we see is a bunch of guys on waivers right now, including Kasperi Kapanen is on waivers. That's interesting. I would almost be tempted to grab him, but I think that would really hurt our salary cap. And that's resorting. That's so nice. I thought that okay, good to know. All right. Oh, that's fun. Why is that doing? Okay. So on this, I'm on a test build, and apparently just found something that's causing resorts. All right, good to know. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's not a weird resort. Why did that randomly happen? Okay, so we got... All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mendel's not in, and Nielsen's not in. Okay, that's fine. We should actually maybe try and set Nielsen down too. We'll hold on to him for the moment. And then, okay, we got Kreider coming in, and there. Okay. Dress him. Kunin's getting dressed. Mercer's going to get dressed too. Foligno is dressed. Eriksson Ek is dressed. So we have 2 guys who are unfit. And sad because they got criticized. Well, you know what? They showed up out of shape. You should be criticized. And so we will do that. And let's get these lines rejigged now. And, all right, we are going to give a quick change to that because Lafreniere does not deserve to be on the third line. Granted, we're going to balance out some time here, but... And... yeah, look at that. Dumba's all the way down to third pairing. Gonna turn that time down a little bit. Holtby's in net. Dubnik's on fire behind him. I like it. Hopefully Holtby's better than he was the last time we picked him up for a stream game. You know what I'm talking about. If I look at tactics here, player... is there a better one for him? He's currently listed as a grinder. I think aggressive forechecker might be a little bit better for him. And if I look back at the lines... holy cow. Mercer would be nice to, and Grew would be nice to find and see if we can, if they have any better. Mercer. I'm going to set him to playmaker, and we're going to set to put him to sniper. And that gives us a little bit different look on that fourth line. All right, we're going to check Kuhn in here too, because, well, I don't think we need everybody on that line being the same. Up and down winger sounds pretty good. Actually, you know what? Let's put him to a perimeter shooter and see if he can give us that, what we need. Man, picking up Kapanen is tempting. I am tempted. Brian Label in the chat says, I have two players who are isolated. One is from Canada, and I have other Canadian players. What do you do? Is it possible he might be Canadian, but does he speak English, or does he primarily speak something else, like French, for instance? Because that could be a difference maker. So that would be the first thing I would check. Kapanen would really push us. But oh boy, would that be interesting. Okay, chat, do we make a claim in on Kapanen? We would probably get him if we do. He only had 31 points with Toronto last year in 79 games. Played 1458, so he'd be coming in playing something around our typical third line. Kapanen and Zach Hyman are fairly similar. Oh, really? It's almost like maybe they played together. Kapanen tends to get hurt a little more. Currently, approximately equal to Ryan Donato. Will probably end up being similar to Ryan Donato. Fair enough. Gudu says make the claim. Bullet says yes, make the claim. All right, we're going to make the claim on Kasperi Kapanen, and that might just create all sorts of problems. But we'll see what happens, I guess, as we move till tomorrow. Gudu, you've never given me bad advice, right? Right? Oh, yeah, except for telling me to pick up Hellebuck in every game and then watching as I get blamed for picking up Hellebuck in every game. Interesting. And of course, we got Kapanen because we were the worst team in the league. So it would only make sense that we picked him up. He wants number 24. So we're going to give him number 48. Oh, he's a bit upset. That's too bad. So the question is, who's coming out? I guess Mercer makes the most amount of sense. Or actually, you know what? We should send down Giroux because he's going to just go down to our AHL team. So we'll get Kapanen in there. And we'll send him down to Iowa. All right, so if I look at my lines here, I think I would move... Okay, can Hyman play... I forget, so remind me here. Okay, he has to be right in front of my face, and I'm just not seeing it. Hyman only plays left wing. Really? I thought he played... He's got some skilled center. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take Kapanen, and we're going to replace with Hyman. And then we're going to take Kapanen, and we're going to replace him with Parise, if I can find Parise. So Kapanen moves from up to 4th. Okay, that makes sense. Maybe I'll swap Hyman and Mercer, because Mercer is a center. If I can see Hyman. There he is. Plays with Mercer. And that gives us a little bit more flexibility there. Okay, since the regular season has started, I should be able to see power rankings. And, ooh, look at that. We jumped all the way to the 9th best team, apparently. Gudu. Changed nickname to Trade Bait. Could be. So, yeah, we are apparently the 9th best team. We'll see how that works out. Oh, this mouse. Taking a quick look. Forgot to look at the season preview. We're not mentioned at all, which is unshocking, and yet kind of hoped we were. So we'll continue on. And we'll get started. More players on waivers. Old man Johnny Boychuk's on waivers. Him and his $7 million a year salary. Our new players should be comfortable soon. And scouting reports start to come in. Game versus Chicago. Well, let's play the game out. Holtby in net. We'll see what happens. And a penalty for hooking. And, oh, that's lovely. A first shot of the game by them, and they score. Okay, so I am on all goals. Okay, couldn't remember if I was or not. And 2-0 to Brinkat. What's going on, Holtby? That's not good. Oh, and off the post and in. Oh, man. 3-0 down by. That's not good. Oh, you cannot tell me that we're going to give up another goal. If we are, I'm simming through the game. Well, we got the first. Finally got one. 12 shots in. And 3-1 at the end of one. We'll continue. And they score again. This is not good. Not looking really great defensive game ratings here. 39 from Zachheim. Ooh. Okay, seeing some improvements. Lots of 40s right now, though. 4-1 at the end of two. Hmm. Hmm, 5-1. I don't know why I'm still watching this, to be honest. But we get one more to make it a little bit interesting. All right. Lafreniere scores his first goal in the NHL. Awesome. Well, make it a little bit tighter. We're going to stop. Well, not options. I want to go to tactics. And we're going to go high tempo and high shooting. Attack hard and attack aggressiveness. Lots of pressure on. See what happens. And it looks like it doesn't make any difference in the game. Oh. Doesn't make any difference. We give up a goal at the end of the game. 6-3 final. Darn. First game of the year, loss. Goody says, did the Blackhawks keep neither Crawford or Liner? I believe, actually, Liner ended... I got to think here. I think Crawford retired. Yeah, Robin Liner, that's right. Ended up back in Buffalo, of all places. I got a laugh out of that when that happened. Signed as a free agent. And then Crawford, I believe, retired. retired. So yeah, they lost pretty much everybody they had. Well, that's a disappointing start. Just going back to this for a second, looking at game ratings. Romagnosi 79, Brodin 84 on defense, which is where I care. Spurgeon 38. Oh, what are you doing, Spurgeon? 40 from Kreider, that hurts. 29 from Alex Lafreniere. Okay, we got to find a different defensive game plan here. So let's look at that right away. That's why we play. Let's try playing more zone with the guys we have. And we will try 1-2-2 retreat. Because we do have some good defensemen. I don't think it's an oops Gudu. It's just what it was. Oh, look, we're at the bottom of the standings. That seems familiar. Dope. And I guess we've been streaming here for over an hour, so we'll play one more game and then we'll call it for the day. And see, the Rangers put in a waiver claim. Game versus Winnipeg. And all right, a couple more claims. Golden Knights grab somebody. Predators grab somebody. All right, game versus Winnipeg. You know what? We'll put Dubnyk in for this one. See how it goes. Some out and only 18 shots against. Give up 3 goals. Lose 3-0. That one hurts. All right, with that, we will be back again next week. Same time, so we usually stream at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, we're at Franchise Hockey, where you can also find a link to our official Discord in our bio. You can also come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to our official forums, which includes, of course, everything you could possibly want to talk about, but also Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team, and the list goes on. So I think with that, we have kind of our new rebuild. We're going to have to work on tactics a little bit to see, and maybe a few line combinations to see who we can get where, to see if we can generate a few more things. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you all again next week.